everyone, it's Cindy. Welcome back to Studioloo. I'm here today with Tuesday 10, which is when I take 10 random things out of this basket that I hoard papers in, and I have to keep making things until I have used it all up. So let's jump in and see what I have today. So I have a little children's book with these adorable little critters. This is from an old yearbook. It's like an advertisement kind of. This is just a really beautiful image from a large art book. Another art book image. This is from, I believe, like a magazine about like herbs and flowers. This is a very messy jelly print on some book paper from a music book. This is a Richard Scarry drawing from a children's book. And a little landscape painting. This is like from a children's book about like sayings and what they mean, like like the phone is bugged, a listening device is hidden in the telephone. And it's got like really fun illustrations. And then this is a book cover. I intended to use this one last week, but things got a little out of control, so we're gonna just use it up this week. It's from a Japanese children's book. So okay, where to begin? I have a couple of ideas. So the first one that I wanted to try is actually just with this simple little landscape picture. So let me just put the rest of the stuff aside. And what I want to do is a page layout, a journal page layout. So I have this page here that has this little tear in it. So what I want to do is just fold the paper. This is just avocado dyed paper. And so as mentioned, we have a little tear here. So what I want to do is I want to just add this as like a glue down with something more to it, to just kind of have like a sort of dressed up page for my journal. So I'm just going to glue it down. Okay, and then the other thing I want to do is put like a piece of lace or something at the bottom, and then I'll stitch the whole thing. So I'm just looking off to the side here to all of my lace. Here's one that I think will work. 1 second. Okay. Yeah, so just like that. Oh yeah, I totally forgot I need to fill my 3-in-1 glue bottle. We'll see how this goes. We'll just let it come down to the bottom. And in the meantime, while we're waiting for that, I'll just set this aside. And the part of this that I want to use is this sort of square here. I want to make a journal card out of that. I think it's really funny. So right there. To about right there, I think. And then I'll probably fussy cut out this fish too, because it's just really funny. So maybe we'll do something with that as well. Okay. See how this glue is doing. Yeah, it's good. Okay. So let's just do a line of glue across the bottom of the image here. Whoops, what am I doing? Trying to put the glue stick cap on the glue bottle. Okay, there's that. And then take the piece of lace here. Okay, and pop that there. Then later on, when we get to the stitching part of the video, what I'm going to do with this is just simply do a nice like line of stitches around it on the inside of the image, so that we'll have just a nice kind of dressed up page that's already ready for a journal. So that is the first one. Okay, so now next thing is, do I want to just fussy cut this, or do I want to use it? I think I just want to fussy cut it out and put it in my little my fussy cut things. So let's just do that really quick here. Just leave a little bit of space around it so that this doesn't take me forever. I just stayed home today because it is just very, very hot. It's that first kind of hot week of spring where like you're not used to it yet, and oh, that's definitely me. I'm just not ready. I'm also still kind of recovering from the whole sinus debacle, so I'm just trying not to push myself because I've been a little bit lax on sleep lately. Okay, let's set those aside. Alright, now this, I think what I want to do is just simply back it kind of, I think, on a nice piece of like thick, it's a magazine cover from a Dutch magazine called Fleur. It's a wonderful magazine. If you ever find it, I recommend you get it because it's a great magazine. Okay. Okay, and then we could also turn this into a postcard on back if we want to. Let's see if I can find my postcard stamps real quick here. Yep. So flip this over, then we need Sharpie. There's one. So we're just going to kind of make this into like a faux postcard, so leave a little bit of space at the top, and then you can choose if you want to do a lot of lines or just sort of a center line or no lines at all. I usually just do a few. That's good, I think. Then I'll pick a postcard mark. I think I want this one. This is from Tim Holtz. This one. Okay, and then just pop it right up here. Okay. That was easy peasy. And I wonder if I have a stamp hanging around. I think I have some. Hold on. I actually have some stamps right over here that I can put away. I'll use one of these. These are dragonfly stamps. I'll just pop a little dragonfly stamp, and then I'll put these away in my stamp book here. Put I have yet to sort out. This is an estate auction find that I got a few weeks ago. So I have not really organized it at all yet. But I will. For now, I'll just stick them in here. That will keep them from getting bent up. There we go. Okay. So we'll set that one aside. Now, next I want to, maybe I'll use this one, because this one I think I also want to just do a really simple concept with. I may do the same thing and make a postcard with it because it's just so cute. I love Richard Scarry so much. The other thing I could do with this is, because I have this book here that has this fun little flap area. Apparently I have ink on my hands. I need a baby wipe. There we go. Let's just wipe that off there. There we go. What I can do though is I can create a flip out with this instead of a postcard maybe. So what I'll do is I'll leave this attached. Let's just make sure that I have this pushed back far enough. I think I do. Oh, I could actually trim the excess right here. There we go. Now it will sit flat there. And then I will just cut here. And this I can probably stand to straighten a little. Yeah. Okay, so now we have like a flip out that can go in a book. I can glue this part down and have that kind of as a tip out. I'm going to ink around it because I think that will add a little to it. Yeah, it's been a quiet couple of days. I've just been sort of recovering from this sinus thing, enduring daily tests and still coming up negative, which is good. And also, I just don't think I'm sick enough to be actually infected with the scourge, so I am okay. I always get sinus infections like at this time of year. I don't know. It's a predictable, annoying thing, but it is what it is. Yeah, that's cute. Okay. And then I also wanted to mention I saw Louisa Heinzel and Barbara from 49 Dragonflies, their lovely video where they got together and they did the Let's Switch project with Honey, their friend Honey, and who's also a really talented paper artist, and it was really fun to watch. I thought it was the cutest video. It was so nice to see, like, such a fun and natural, like, friendship with just so much humor. I thought Honey really made things super fun. It was really cute. I totally want my own junk journal bestie. It's nice to find somebody that you really click with, you know? It's a really good thing. Where did I put that Fleur magazine? Oh yeah, there's not enough of it left. Okay. I have another piece. Yay! It's just a nice thick weight. I like using. This would actually make a really cute tip out as well. I don't want to be repetitive in what I do here. But I just think it would make a really cute tip out. Because it's small and like fun. We're gonna do it one more time. Okay. And I also want to put words on this one. I've got to find a word snippet. So yesterday, have you ever had one of those moments where you try to accomplish something but like it just doesn't go well? So that was yesterday for me. All I wanted to do was go to IKEA to get a new cabinet for my bathroom. Okay, this will be my rant for the day. So the IKEA that I go to in Toronto, I've never ever had an issue there. I absolutely have always loved going there. However, now, I guess since the pandemic started, this is some newly introduced thing. I have no idea, but it's called full serve. So let's say you want to buy a certain thing. Well, you know, I customarily would have looked up the location, like the bin, the aisle that it's in, I would just go get it and I would check out, preferably through self-checkout, speak to no one and leave, and it would be wonderful. Now, however, they have full serve, which means that when you go and you try to look up your item, there's not going to be a location, but you don't know why, and you have to go to customer service, like one of their little kiosk areas, and ask them, like, where is the location? And, like, you don't learn until you get up there and you give them the part number of what you're looking for, that there is no location, that it's full serve, which means it's behind the counter, like behind in the warehouse, and that only they can get it for you. So they type it in, and then you go and you wait, like you pay for it and then you go wait and they get it for you. So I thought, okay, that's fine. You know, I did not expect anything crazy to happen. Well, I went there, I ordered a bathroom cabinet, and I waited, and it wasn't too long, maybe 10 or 15 minutes, and then I got the cabinet out, and I was like, this doesn't look right when I was at the car. And then my husband's like, well, this isn't the bathroom cabinet, this is clearly a kitchen cabinet because it's far wider. So I was like, oh, okay. So apparently the cabinet has the same name, and there's a kitchen one and there's a bathroom one, and that's also interesting and new because they used to all have their own weird names, right? Like everything had its own name. So I take it back in, I take it to the return desk, I return it, and I try again. I feel like, all right, you know, things happen. So I look it up on my phone again, and I get the right number, and I go back and I explain at the return desk while I'm returning it. I explained what had happened, that they gave me the wrong cabinet. So the woman was good. She refunded me, and she said, you know, I will just go ahead and make up a new bill for you. Then you can pay for it here. Then you can go wait again in the line. And I said, oh, great. Okay, yeah, awesome. So then she tries to do that, but then her computer wouldn't connect to the printer, so she couldn't print out my order. So then some guy came along and he tried to, you know, hook up the computer to the printer. It didn't work, so I waited and I waited, and I was like, oh God, like how long is this going to take? Because my kids are waiting, you know, my husband's waiting. They're pretty, you know, patient, but everybody kind of, you know, after 45 minutes that I'd already been waiting, it was getting a little annoying. So I was like, okay, I said, like, I can go somewhere else. I don't want to, like, you know, take up your day. So then she's like, oh no, let me write down your order number. I said, okay. So then she wrote down my order number on a piece of paper that was like a scrap paper. I cannot find a word, I'm sorry. A scrap paper from something else, and I'm going to use generosity and curiosity. I think that's fine. So she writes it down on a scrap piece of paper that actually belonged to somebody else's order. Like, it was nothing to do with me. And then she just folded it in half like a piece of scrap paper, hand wrote my order on it, and off I went to the cash register, because she apparently couldn't ring it through. Like, she didn't want to because it wouldn't print or something. So I said, okay, no problem. So then off I go to the checkouts, and there was only one cash line open in the whole of IKEA. So I think, oh, but look, there's like, 10 empty self-checkouts and 2 people staffing the self-checkouts. So I walk over and I said, hi, I have this order number that I need to get this thing. Like, can I enter it on the self, checkout, or do I have to go wait in line? I don't mind either way, but I'm just wondering. So then they look at it, and like, the woman was quite curt with me. It was really odd. And she's like, oh, well, you're gonna have to go and actually order this item. And I said, no, I did that at the return desk. This is actually an order number. And she sort of went to argue with me again, and then the guy who was there with her is like, oh, no, yeah, we can enter these order numbers. So she's like, oh, okay, come over here. So then, she was very nice from that point on, and she entered my order number, and the order came up, and, I think I was a little bit distracted because I didn't even notice that it was like $100 more than what it should have been. I just, like, when you've been dealing with things and you're just kind of like getting tired, I was also just feeling a little bit like tired because I'm not 100% right now. So I'm moving on to the next thing here, the children's book page. I'm going to see if I can use some of this with this. I have a little bit of an idea. I just need to grab a punch, I think. Hold on one second. Sorry about that. Okay, so, she rang it through, I paid, and then she gave me the instructions again, like, you're going to have to go over to the full serve, your order number will appear on a screen, and when it's ready, they'll call your number, and you'll be good to go. I said, yeah, I'm good, I just did that, thank you. So, off I go, and I wait. Sorry for the interruption. Had to change batteries, as I always do at Tuesday 10. Anyway, so I wait, and like, pretty much almost an hour goes by. Like, it's very weird. And then, like, there were 7 orders in front of me, and like, the thing is too, they say, like, in the estimated wait time, 5 minutes beside all the orders. And it's also very it's very jarring because you see, like, 6 staff members all standing at the desk and chatting with each other. And like, I know, I've worked in retail, I know that not everybody can do the same job, and usually when you see those kind of things, like, truly, there's nothing those people can do to fulfill anything faster. Really, there isn't. And I'm also just like, I have a history in retail. I'm not an impatient person. I don't get crabby with people. I'm very chill. I really am. So, especially because, like, I was very tired, and I just, I was willing to sit there and wait. So then, though, like, orders behind mine started going, ahead of me, and I'm like, okay, and sort of sitting there, and all of a sudden, the girl at the desk, like, looks at me, and she's like, what is your order number? And, like, it was weird how she said it. It was, like, kind of snarky, and I wasn't even, like, doing anything. I was literally just sitting there. I wasn't reacting in any impatient way. So I got up and I showed her my receipt, and she's like, oh, okay. So she goes in the back, and I see her, like, shuffling around, like, looking at this one cart that, I'd actually seen the cart. It was in my point of, like, vision from where I was sitting, it had been sitting there forever, and like it was my stuff. So she goes over and she's looking at the receipt and she's shuffling it around and she's, you know, kind of going back and forth. So finally she brings it in and she's like, oh, okay, here you go. And I was like, okay. So I come over and it looks to me like it's far more boxes than it should be, and I'm like, okay. So I just go to the car and I've got my receipt in hand, and so my husband's like, what did you get this time? I said, you know, I really don't know. I just want to order a cabinet. Well, I wanted to order 2 cabinets, actually. I should be fully honest with you. I'm ordering 2 of these cabinets. They are a bathroom cabinet that has 2 doors. So, yeah, that basically ends up being another problem, because I actually have 3 cabinets and 3 sets of doors. However, by this time, okay, literally, I've been at IKEA for 2 hours. I'm just, at this point, surely I'm feeling impatient and just tired of the whole situation. I just wanted to go. But I then looked at my receipt and I'm like, whoa, this is like $300. I don't want to spend in cabinetry for my bathroom, you know. And also, it didn't immediately occur to me that what my problem was, is that I had just 1 extra cabinet and 2 extra doors. It was really weird, but when I looked on the receipt, like, because the receipt they gave me, like, all the line items, like, normally you know how, like, you have line items on a receipt, like, part number, quantity, you know, price per item, and then final price of how many you get. Like, it should be a clean line. Well, this was like 9 lines, everything separate. Some of them were lumped together, maybe, and some weren't. And then, like, it was so confusing to look at. I don't know why. It just seemed really strange to me. And I didn't understand that that's what had happened. And by this point, I was just exhausted, and so I said to my husband, I'm like, okay, you know what? I think what I need here is I need to return 1 of the cabinets and 2 of the doors, and then we'll have what we're looking for. He's like, oh yeah, okay, go ahead and do that. So I'm like, okay, I'll be right back. I go into the returns desk, and then the other weird thing is they have this little tiny sign. It's like a little tiny blue sign where they tell customers that they have to wait by the little blue sign to get helped by the staff at the return desk, even though, like, you're literally standing right in front of the return desk. Like, why do you have to stand slightly off to the right beside a sign? But sure, okay. And I'd already been told that before, so when I came back in, dutifully, I went and I stood by the little sign. Then there were 2 other guys with carts that were sort of standing out in the middle. So then when I got up there, the lady called me. She's like, you, next. And I was like, okay. And then the guy starts, like, getting mad because he's like, I was here first. I was like, you were, so go ahead. Like, I'm that's fine. I don't care. And so then he went, and that was fine. She seemed to have some kind of a problem with the whole situation, and then some guy who worked there started, like, kind of arguing with her about the fact that it wasn't that important to be standing beside the sign. And I was just like, I'm going to die in this IKEA. This is my last day. And so, yeah, I then got up to the counter and I tried to explain what had happened, but I think, to be completely honest, that I might have been a little brain foggy by that point, and I was just like, I don't know, like, I need to return 1 of these. I was charged incorrectly. Like, the whole issue boiled down to the handwritten invoice, right? If I'd gotten the invoice printed out with the items, I would have been able to clearly see there was an extra cabinet. I could have had it corrected right there, but, like, I didn't. I figured I'd explained exactly what I wanted: 2 cabinets, 4 doors, the end, right? I figured it would have been done right, but it wasn't. So then I get up to the counter and I'm explaining it to this girl who, I've got to say, I have dealt with a lot of service people. Like, I have been a public servant many, many years of my life, working in retail. This girl has probably the worst kind of attitude for retail that I have ever seen. Well, not ever, but certainly she was a highlight. So what I can say is, thankfully, she was dealing with me and not somebody with, like, a very short temper, because, so the first thing about it was, I explained what happened. I said, I just need to return one of these cabinets and two of the doors. So she immediately like looks at my cart and she's like, oh, wow, that's a lot of stuff. That's exactly how she said it. Like, she had a really, really major case of vocal fry, like that kind of valley girl, you know, we used to call it valley girl in the olden days when I was a teenager. That way of talking, right? Which, fine, whatever, don't care. That's how you talk, don't care. All I want to do is return this cabinet. So I said, yep, it's a lot of stuff, but you know, I was incorrectly charged for one of these cabinets. I only wanted two. I explained that, but somehow, you know, it just didn't transpire that way, and there's three, so I need to return one. I'll keep the rest. So then she's like, oh, okay, no problem. So then she's like, do you have your debit card? I said, yes, I do, because that's how I paid. So she's like, all right, well, let me refund this, and then we'll charge you for it again. I'm like, okay. So then instead of her just refunding the one cabinet and two doors, she refunded the entire three cabinets and doors. And I was like, okay, sure. So then I said, okay, so now that you've refunded everything, I want to rebuy the two cabinets and four doors. And she said, oh, no, we can't do that. And I'm like, what are you talking about? So then this woman beside her who was working in the next lane is like, no, you can do that. This is what you do, and blah, blah, blah. So then, you know, she kind of went over the whole thing again, like I was some kind of, like, extraordinarily dumb person who clearly didn't understand what was going on, which, you know, I did. I knew what was going on. The attitudes were just, they were a little bit devolving, I don't know. So she's like, no, you did the right thing. Just refund everything and start fresh. I said, okay, that's fine. I'm cool with that. I just want to buy these two cabinets. I'm not, you know, I don't care about whatever process works for you. I'm good with. So then she's like, okay. So then she goes, and the girl literally made the snarky girl read all the numbers one by one, even though they were all the same. She made her read them back to her one by one, and I think she was doing it to, like, I don't know if she was trying to teach me a lesson of some kind, I'm not sure, but yeah, that's what we were doing. And that girl was getting really annoyed because she had to read the same number like 4 times, and then the other number 2 times. And I was just like, okay. So then I go to pay, and she's like, okay, well, now we can ring you through, but then you've got to go back over to full serve and wait again. They have to repick the order. And I said, but it's sitting right here on the cart in front of me. They would literally just go and get the exact same items off the shelf. Like, I'm not doing that. No. Like, absolutely no. And so they're like, well, we have to do that way. And I was like, okay, I'm done. Goodbye. Later. See ya. And they're like, well, do you want your receipt? And I said, my receipt for nothing? Sure. Please just pass along my feedback that full serve has been probably the worst thing I've ever seen in an IKEA in my entire life. And I will definitely not be coming back. Like, I can't believe what I have endured with this nonsense today. Like, it's been 2.5 hours by this point. I'm like, you know, it just made me think about, like, someone like me. I didn't get upset. I was really, like, maybe I was too nice. I don't know if that's the problem. But, like, what if it had been, like, a really angry person who was just having an awful day? I mean, I used to work in one of the world's worst retailers. I won't mention it here, and I was in upper management, and I have dealt with things from, I mean, threats of violence toward my staff to, you know, physically seeing a man throw a toaster at one of my staff. I mean, I've dealt with just angry people, like the fringes of society type people that just have no cool. And I was just thinking, like, imagine what it's like for people who are just unhinged that come in here and deal with this kind of thing. It kind of made me fear for these people, because I really don't think they understand, like, the level of annoying that they're being. I just am, like, a little bit floored, to be honest. So I came back outside and I said to my husband, I'm sorry, I can't do this. I'm far too tired. I just can't get them to understand what I want, and they want me to now wait again and do the whole thing again. And I'm honestly worried they're going to pull the wrong thing again a third time, and I just don't want to do this. So he's like, okay, that's fine. We'll just go. We'll go. So I kind of felt like for the rest of the day, like very annoyed that I lost like 2 hours of my life. And yeah, I don't think I'll be going back there for a long time, if at all. There are other IKEAs. But yeah, I just don't like having to feel... I don't want to be in a conflict, you know what I mean, with anybody who works in the service industry, because it's really hard these days. But those, I don't know. It was mainly just the girl at the return desk that really bothered me. Just her almost accusatory way that it was kind of my fault, and I didn't like that. It was really crappy. And also it didn't matter. I felt like even if this was 100% my fault, which I don't feel it was, it's still just a mistake. It's pretty easy to resolve. It's like nothing to be so crappy to someone about. So this is just going to be like a little tuck spot pocket. It could be a double pocket. Okay. So yeah, sorry that was a super long story. But yeah, it was pretty impactful to my day. And I hope that never happens again. It was exhausting. Okay. So I have this paper I've been dyeing. I don't know if you can see the colors in this paper, but it's been dyed with like a gray dye that has a bit of a mauvey pink behind it. It's like a mousy gray, and this feels kind of very like dark to me, and I want to use those together. I want to add her as like a tuck spot on top of here, so I just need to thicken up the paper a bit with something. There we go. Sorry, I'm just reaching into my... That's too thick. Oh, here we go. This book is good for this, actually. It's pretty thick paper. Yeah, I think it's been like many, many years now where I have had like no conflicts of any kind. And maybe that's because I'm just like never shopping, but like I don't often really get into conflicts at stores. I am like a very amenable person. I think it's because I've spent a lot of time like managing people and training new people, and you know, just understanding, like I'm the person on the road where like if you make a mistake while driving, I will go, you know, it's probably like their first day, or maybe this is the first U-turn they've ever done, or you know, I try to like think of other people's perspectives. I don't just like get mad. I'm also kind of always thinking about my own, you know, cortisol and stress levels. I don't want them to get all raised up and give myself blood pressure for no reason. I don't want to do that. But I also don't want to be like treated like totally crappy, you know? I don't want to be at the bottom of somebody else's bad day, for that matter. But I left out some details too. Like there was this whole period in time where when she first at the return desk said that I had a lot of stuff, that she was going to get a manager, and she went to the office and there was no manager. So then she spent a full, I would say like almost 10 minutes literally just wandering around in space, like looking out into the dark abyss of IKEA, wandering in front of me and everyone else who's just kind of quizzically watching her, like in front of this area where there's like elevators, kind of like out in front of the return desk. She just like, I don't know what she was doing. I don't know if she was thinking or contemplating, you know, what will happen and in her next life. I don't know, but it was very strange. So yeah. But you know, I don't want to be that person at a store that people have to be like, oh my god, what is wrong with this crazy woman? So I just kind of wait. I wait and see. Alright, we're gonna have to trim a little more of her off. Then I may have to shorten. Yeah, I definitely have to shorten her. We're gonna have to lose her little arms. She's really cool. I feel like she'd be great in a morning journal or something. She just has that look to her. So I'm going to just glue the bottom because I want it to be like a tuck spot. Actually, I'll glue this one side too. Yeah. I feel like lately I haven't had anything great to talk about other than weird rants that are going on in my life. I promise I'm not a super conflicty person. Oh my gosh. Yeah. That's cute. Okay, we have... Alright, I did so much yapping that like I only have this one piece left. This is great. Okay, so let's just first tear it in half. I can't tear it. It's plastic on the outside. I was thinking about making a little booklet with this side of it because it's just really cute. So if I can just be a little more straight and cut up to here, and then we'll go across here and then back down. Okay, that can go and that can go. And then I just want to make like a little cute little booklet. This will be the book cover. Like that. Then over here, I feel like I want to save a bit of this as well. If anyone knows anything about this book series, the name or the author, or if you're looking for the book, this is the ISBN number. I found a whole group of these really interesting, tiny little illustration kind of landscapey books that I found at a thrift store, and it was just all like different Japanese books. Like, I don't know. I mean, I believe it's Japanese. It could be Korean, but I think it's Japanese. I do sometimes flub those two up, so yeah. Never trust me with languages that I do not speak. So, I just want to straighten that out. And I just want to keep this literally just as a cute little piece of stationery because it's blank on back. It's thin and it's shiny, so I just like it. It'd be a nice like little, you know, tuck in. It's cute. So that will be as is. Now we need to put some papers inside here. Let me just grab some right over here. Okay, so I think what I want to do, this is just cabbage dyed, and this is somewhere that, oh no, that's cabbage dyed as well. Yes, these are both cabbage dyed. So let's just fold them in half. I'm going to put this one in the middle. It's for some contrast. And I won't make it a huge booklet, just a little one. Okay. Put that like that. There we go. Yeah, and that'll fit in here. So I'll stitch it and then I'll trim the pages afterward. Okay, so I'm at the stage where I get to stitch everything, so let me just do some stitching and I'll come right back. Okay, we are back and I have stitched around everything. So stitched around this. It's a super cute little like attached, you know, piece of art on a page, and then we get this cute little stitched frame on the back, which is nice. Then our little Richard Scarry tip out, I stitched around that one as well. I just thought it would add a nice little frame. This one I chose not to stitch around. I just think it's good as is. Then this one, I ended up, so I didn't even talk about what I wanted to do because I was on my IKEA rant, but I wanted to make this into like a little kind of browning tree and just cover up the words. So I used the jelly print. I used this Stampin' Up! Punch to make this shape as the leaves, and then I just kind of went in with a little Sharpie and did some little details on the leaves, then drew a little tree and inked it in. So now it's just a little tree there, and that will be a pocket. And this one I just left alone. I kind of had this vision in my mind for these pieces that I just think it'll be a nice double pocket for a page. And then our postcard I stitched around the edge. And this one I did all around the page itself. I did a zigzag. This one I just left alone, and then here's our little booklet, and you could put a label right here if you wanted to. It almost looks like a little traveler's notebook, like a little tiny traveler's notebook, and I just stitched right down the center. So, okay, so that's it for Tuesday 10 today. I hope you enjoyed seeing what I'm working on for Tuesday 10. I hope you have way better IKEA experiences than which I did. I usually do. That was certainly a first for me. So maybe IKEA, gods look down upon us in a better way next time. But I had fun. So thanks for hanging out with me, and I hope you have a wonderful Tuesday. Bye for now.